Hey friends, it's Nick. Today I wanted to talk about what made cancer harder on me and share a little tale of miscommunication and confusion. Time and time again I am asked, what was the hardest thing about going through cancer? And for me, it was the fact that I was confined to a wheelchair. I truly feel that if I could have driven myself to doctor's appointments and if I had gotten to stay in my beloved apartment, it would have sucked, but it would have been 10 times easier on me. My lymphoma was eating holes in my hip bone like an angry moth in the depths of a closet with a vengeance. The initial admitting doctor actually told me my hip bone resembled Swiss cheese. The joint was completely destroyed and they did not want me walking on it until I met with my orthopedic oncologist and he took a look at it. So in the wheelchair, I was. The last thing I want to do is be insensitive towards anyone's feelings. I'm strictly talking about my own experiences, but I hated this thing. I just wanted to walk. I was embarrassed. I didn't like being wheeled around, and it immediately made me a little more sensitive to disabled people. Sometimes I'd get caught on bumps in the floor, or I'd get caught in doorways, and I would cry because it was so humiliating. I feel like shit complaining about this, but that's as honest as it gets. In my head, I just felt like a swollen, unattractive waste of space. And I felt like this for the entirety of my treatment, when in reality I was just being overdramatic and ridiculous. Because of this unique situation, my doctors decided they didn't want to send me home after my first chemotherapy. So they sent me to a nursing home and rehab. I'm sure they had good intentions. But once I got there, the physical therapists had no idea what to do with me. So I didn't get any physical therapy for the duration of my stay. So I was just there instead of home because between the doctors and physical therapists, they all had no idea what to do with me. Basically, this is how I think it all went down. So this woman has no hip joint. What exactly do you want us to do with her? Well, just get her stronger, and when she's able to walk again, she'll have some muscle mass. She literally needs surgery. This is not my area. What does her ortho say? Well, we sent him the x-rays, but he hasn't met her yet, and he really doesn't know what to do until he meets her. I literally have no idea what you would like me to do. Yeah, me either. Holy shit, there's orange hearts now. Nevertheless, this place was very entertaining and I made the best of it. Every morning, like clockwork, there was a lady. She stayed across the hall from me and she would ask the nurse for her Percocet. It would go something like this. Nurse! Nurse! Yes, Linda. Give me my Percocet! Are you in pain? No! Well, you can't have your Percocet. So what? Just give it to me. This place was comedic gold, IMO. I also had a roommate for a week. Let's name her Liz. Liz was in her 80s or something. Liz would make several phone calls a day to her friends, and these phone calls would consist of the same conversation. She would complain about the grape-shaped tumor in her brain that she named Judy. Judy makes her trip over herself, and Judy made her break her ankle, and that's why she was in this place. Each time she would talk about Judy, I would laugh my flat ass off. She would complain about her hair, and she wished she had one of those cancer people scarves to cover it. As a cancer people myself, one day I decided to spare one of my bandanas and write her a little note. I wished her well, and she appreciated it very much. It felt good to do like a small thing like that for somebody in a sucky situation. It was the least I could do for the hours of entertainment she provided me. Judy the tumor, I'll never forget you. It might have been a week later when my oncologist called and she said I could no longer have a roommate because my white cells were on the floor. So they moved Liz out and I went in for a Neulasta shot, which helps the body make white blood cells. I live at this nursing home for another week and then it was time to go home. My apartment has stairs and it's on an upper level, so I had to go stay with my grandparents at their ranch house. I love my grandparents and I am forever grateful for them opening their home to me when I needed it the most. And I made the best of the situation, and I'm super thankful that my grandparents and I are much closer now than we ever were before. But let's just say being back in my hometown was disastrous for my mental health. Combine that with my extremely low self-esteem and pre-existing mental health issues. This was a huge time bomb that had a huge explosion that I will talk about in a later video. But yeah, that was the hardest part about going through cancer treatment. The whole wheelchair, confusing orthopedic situation. Please share with me the hardest part about your personal cancer journey. I would love to read about them. Na zdrowie, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!